Guys, Sean Bougie, surplusfundsriches.net. Today we're going to talk about the fact that you've been lied to, and it is that simple. One of the things I get asked quite a bit is should you check debt and ownership first, do the title work check yourself, or wait until you contact the claimant, or just don't do it at all? The people competing with me say, particularly in tax sales, tax surplus funds, that there's no other debt and that the owner's name is correct and debt doesn't matter. We say to check the title and ownership or you'll lose money, time, credibility, and possibly even your business. Let's consider the pros and cons of their no ownership debt check approach. And please tell us what you think, your take on this in the comments. Guys, I'm going to get a little more in depth after this, but let's talk about first the pros and cons of the no ownership debt check approach and what they say. This is the reasoning they give for not checking debt. They say the list showing the overage and the owner's name at the time of the sale is accurate. The owner's name is accurate. They say if there was additional debt other than the tax bill, that got kicked out by foreclosure. Or they say if there is additional debt, it is so low, you don't have to worry about it. Let's go through this one by one. So the first thing to talk about is the list showing the overage and the owner at the time of the sale is accurate. The owner listed also is accurate. Guys, we see inaccurate lists daily. Owners will sell their property right before the sale using a quick claim. Sometimes they're trying to forestall the foreclosure. Other times they've signed over the deed to somebody else and they weren't able to pay off the debt to stop the foreclosure. It happens all the time. Or an owner will get divorced and quick claim it to the other person. And without you knowing that, you're chasing two claimants when only one person is due the money. Guys, tax assessors don't update the owner's names often, and they foreclose on the property, not the person. That's why property tax foreclosures don't affect credit. They don't have to contact the correct person in order to foreclose. They don't even have to contact them. They just have to make an effort, send out a mailing. That's about it. You're going to waste time, money, energy. You're talking about skip tracing these people, calling them, mailing them, paying for the mail pieces, the notary, all that. You're going to be doing all that going after the wrong person while another person gets the deal. A quick title check would take you about 15 minutes. That is not going to cost you a deal. This is all about shortcuts for these guys and a little more. It goes a little deeper than that, and I'll touch on that in a minute. The first one, if there was additional debt other than that tax bill, these folks are telling you that got kicked off by foreclosure. A simple search online, what happens to creditors when a property forecloses and there's surplus funds, some search like that will tell you that's completely wrong. That's a complete lie. This is a lie to sell programs. The foreclosure erased subordinate liens, mortgages against the home. Any debt that was against the property was wiped out against the home from the foreclosure, but all the creditors with a recorded lien or mortgage, they still have a priority claim to the surplus funds ahead of the owner. You're going to chase somebody not entitled to the surplus, guys. Or if the debt still left some surplus, like let's say you're telling the owner they're worth 50 because that's what's on the list, but in reality there was a $30,000 secondary debt. So now the owner's only entitled to 20, whatever's left. The one that calls with the right amount, that's going to be us unless you're trained by us. They're going to get the deal. They're going to go, wait a minute, the other person said 50 grand. We're going, yeah, but there was a $30,000 code enforcement lien. Oh, well, we're going to go with you because you know what you're talking about, right? If there's no money or you go back to the claimant with a lower amount, here's what that results in, guys. You're going to get poor online reviews, possibly even litigation. Guys, remember, somebody actually sued McDonald's because their coffee was too hot and they won. You don't think we're a litigious society? You're also going to get adversarial claimants. They're not going to want to work with you at that point. When you tell them there's less money or no money, it's not going to go well. The other point they make, if there is additional debt, it is so low you don't have to worry about it. Guys, it is true. There usually is an additional mortgage debt against tax foreclosed homes because the banks escrow the tax payment in the mortgage payment. The mortgage payment consists of principal, interest, taxes, property taxes, and insurance. So the mortgage company would pay those taxes and they would foreclose first if there was additional debt, if there was a mortgage against that property. So that's true. However, especially in today's economy, there are a lot of other debts to consider other than mortgages. Code enforcement liens. Florida, for example, will charge not only $150 because they had to cut the yard, but if the people are late paying, it can be $100 a day in perpetuity. We have seen code enforcement liens over cutting a yard in Florida for over $75,000. I kid you not. School tax liens. Look at Texas. Many of the counties have a separate school tax and property tax system. As a result, there could be a school tax lien that's unpaid as well if that didn't foreclose first. HELOC loans, home equity lines of credit. Even if somebody doesn't have a mortgage, they can have a home equity line of credit. And look at what's going on with the economy right now. Everybody's in stupid high debt. Of course, there's a HELOC loan on that property. Signature loans can also count. Just about any kind of debt as long as it's recorded in the same county as where the house foreclosed. The bottom line, guys, shortcuts are going to turn into wrong turns. Check the title, ownership and debt, before you chase a dead end or create animosity. We're talking about today, it's I'm going to make you pay on social media and review sites attitude. That's how people get back at you if they feel wrong. And that's what's going to happen. People telling you to not check ownership and debt are misleading you. And I got to just say this up front. They're trying to make the business look like it requires no work. That's easier to sell you if they don't tell you the work you got to do. Or they're regurgitating someone else's opinion. They don't have the real experience to back it up. They bought a book somewhere where somebody told them don't check debt, or they didn't even bring up debt. And now they're selling it to you because they've never really worked it, or they don't work it off enough to run into where this is a real issue. Guys, do this right, or you're going to be a bit player in an industry that's flush with opportunity. 3,200 plus counties, foreclosures every single day. Mortgage and tax foreclosures, guys. Check us out, surplusfundsriches.net. If nothing else, I hope this has helped you make a more informed decision. Thank you.